Hello, college algebra. I hope you did well on 5.2. Today, we are actually going to 5.4. We are not doing 5.3. So you can cross out 5.3. You don't do its homework or there's no video on it. We will not have that and it will not be on your final. So now I need you to go to 5.4, systems of nonlinear equations in two variables, or where you should be. We're going to talk about what a nonlinear equation is and how to graph them. We're going to solve by substitution and elimination, and we are going to do story problems. So the same thing last time, but this time we're just going to up the ante a little bit. Okay, are the following systems of nonlinear equations? So I want to know if these are lines or not lines, because nonlinear just means it's not a line, correct? So we are here, not a line is what we're looking at. Well, if you noticed, we have x squared plus y squared equals 9. If they are squares, there's no way it can be a line because line only has exponents of 1. So this is no, this is not a line. This is yes, it is linear. So the answer is yes, it is a system of nonlinear equations. So we're going to go through here. I hope you recognize x squared plus y squared is a circle, and the square root of 9 is 3 with radius 3. So it goes here, 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 and here with the starting at the center of 0, and that's your circle. And then your line would have started at 1, your y-intercept with a slope of 4 over 1. Draw in your line. And then these two equations will intersect in 2 points. Later on, we'll find exactly where they are. So now here, is this a system of nonlinear? I hope you go no, because yes, this is a line. This here is also a line. So this is a system of linear equations. So it is not nonlinear. In other words, it is a system of linear equations or lines. And you should know this. You'd solve for y and you could graph both of those. I am not going to do that right now. You may graph them on decimals if you would like. Okay, following, is this nonlinear? And the answer is yes, because x squared, if you solve this for y, you get y equals x squared plus 1. I hope you're recognizing that's a parabola and it's shifted up 1. So we're going to start at 1. We're going to do our 3 points that we do and draw in our parabola. Okay, this one is a line. So we got minus y equals negative 4x minus 1 divided by negative 1. Y equals 4x plus 1. So we know we're going to start at 1, go up 4 over 1, and draw our line. Ooh, that was really bad line. And then it's going to intersect in 2 points. So yes, this is a system of nonlinear because they are not both lines. That's what we're looking for. Now we got to solve these by substitution and elimination just like before. So substitution, remember, we solve for a variable and then we plug it back into the second equation. Well, if I'm looking here, y is easy to solve for here and here. X is not because I have to take the square root, and here I have to divide by 4. All right, so we need to pick this one or this one and solve for a variable. I chose the first one just because I thought it looked interesting. So I chose this equation. So this one I'm going to solve, and then I'm going to substitute into the second one. So I'm going to solve for y. So in order to get y by itself, I add 1 to both sides. So y is now equal to x squared plus 1. I'm going to go to this equation here. Your 4x minus y equals negative 1. I'm going to take out the y and substitute in its place the x squared plus 1. So you get 4x minus, don't forget your parentheses, x squared plus 1 equals 1. You're going to distribute your negative. So you get negative x squared minus 1 equals negative 1. And now we solve. So to do this, it's an x squared, so we set it equal to 0 in descending order. So negative x squared must go first. 4x is second. Well, when I add the 1 over, I get 0, so this is my entire equation. Okay, first step is always take out what they have in common. Well, x squared and 4x have a negative x in common, giving me x minus 4. Now I set both of these equal to 0. So x equals negative 4, x equals 0, which means x also equals 0. If you divide by -1, add your 4, and we get x equals 4. We must check both solutions to see if they work, or to solve for the remaining variable. I'm sorry. So let's plug 0 in, and we pick one, and I just picked this one because it's already solved for y for me. So 0 plus 1 is 1, so 1 equals y. My solution is 0, 1. I take the same one, I plug in the 4, and I get y equals 17. So my point is 4, 17. I got 2 points where these intersect. Plug them in and make sure they work. Okay, pause and it's your turn. Okay, I would think this one here would be easiest to solve for y. So we're going to go 3x. Actually, let's subtract the 3x. I probably would have added the y, but that's not what I did last time. So we will do the same process. Subtract the 3x, so negative y equals negative 3x plus 9. Divide by your -1, so y equals 3x minus 9. Now we're going to substitute it in up here. So we're going to take x squared equals 2 times the 3x minus 9 plus the 10. We're going to do our math. Do your distribution. So x squared equals 6x minus 18 plus 10. So x squared equals 6x minus 8. Bring everything over to one side. So minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. So that's x minus 4. X minus 2 equals 0. So we've got x equals 4 and x equals 2. I got the x values of my points. Now we need to plug those in to find our y values. So now you get to pick which equation you want. I'll probably use the bottom since I do not have to square anything. Oh, I'm out of room. Okay, let's go over to the side here. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go over here to find our y. So we're going to use the equation 3x minus y equals 9. It's the equation I'm using. Let's plug in the 4. So 3 times 4 minus y equals 9. 12 minus y equals 9. Subtract the 12. Negative y equals -3, so y equals 3. So our first point is 4, 3. Do the second point. So let's do 3 times 2 minus y equals 9. Whoops, doing math in my head. So 6 minus y equals 9. So minus y equals 3. So y equals -3. So that point is 2, -3. You can plug them in to check. All right, now if we want to solve using the elimination, remember that's when we have to get opposite coefficients, and they have to have exact exponents. It's very important. The exponents must match. So we're going to put it in ax plus by equals c form. So the bottom one also has to match. So they do. X squared, y squared equals a number. Now we have to choose one of these to get rid of. And in this case, it makes absolutely no difference. They are both equally not as pretty. So let's get rid of the y. So in order to get rid of the y, I need to have opposite coefficients. So I'm going to take the first one times the 3, and I'm going to take the second one times the -2. So I get 6 and -6 for my y. So let's distribute through. We get 9x squared plus 6y squared equals, what is 35 times 3? 105. Okay, now distribute your -2. So we have -8x squared minus 6y squared equals a -96. Okay, just like before in elimination, we add those two up. And we're going to get x squared equals 105 minus 96 is 9. So that means x equals plus or minus 3 when you take the square root of both sides. All right, this means you have to plug in 3 and -3 to solve. It's not just one or the other. So now when we pick one, and it doesn't even matter which one, let's do the top one just for fun. So we're going to take 3 times 3 squared plus 2 times y squared equals 35. Well, whoops, that's supposed to be a 5. All right, now so we know this is 9. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 2y squared equals 35. Subtract your 27, and we have 2y squared equals 8. Divide by 2, so y squared equals 4. Okay, which means y equals plus or minus 2. Now, if you look here, since x is also squared, it's not going to matter if I plug in a positive 3 or a negative 3, because when I square it, I'm going to get 9 both times. So that means now my points are, here when I solved, I plugged in the 3, so I got 3, and I got a positive 2 and a negative 2. Well, when I plug in the negative 3, I'm also going to get a positive 2 and a negative 2. I have 4 solutions. So these two graphs intersect in 4 different points, which makes sense. You got 2 circles, right? Okay, try yours. Okay, I hope you did a great job. When I did this, I looked at this first one and said he's the easiest to solve. So when I'm looking at x minus 3 equals, or x minus y equals 3, I solved for x because I could just add the y over and I had no negatives, and I like not working with negatives. So I know x equals y plus 3. So now I replace this x with y plus 3 right here, minus the 2 squared plus y plus, this is supposed to be a 3, squared equals 4. Now we do inside the parentheses, which is the y plus 1. We squared both of those. Remember, that's multiplying it by itself. So I hope no one got y squared plus 1. You should have got the middle term of 2y and the middle term of 6y here. Combine like terms. So y squared is 2y squared. 2y and 6y is 8y. 1 and 9 is 10. But now you got to bring the 4 over, so we have to subtract it. I have an x squared, but everybody has a 2 in common. Since I have this equal to 0 now, I can divide by 2 and simplify my problem. Factors of 3 that equal 4 are 3 and 1, so y is now negative 3 and negative 4. Now we go up here and we plug it back into our equation. So when we plug in the negative 3, we get x is 0, so this point is 0, negative 3, first answer. Then we plug in the negative 1, we get x is 2, and our second answer is 2, negative 1. So they intersect in 2 points. I hope you did a good job. All right, next is a little bit of work here. This is one of my favorites because it takes quite a bit of thinking, but it's a lot of fun when you learn it. Okay, the length and the width of a rectangle whose perimeter is 20 feet and whose area is 21 square feet. So I need to find the length and the width, so L and W, and I'm given I know I have to use 2 equations because I'm given perimeter and area. You have to remember that area is length times width, and perimeter is 2L plus 2W. Okay, so I can do a little bit of substitution. I know area is 21. So currently I have 21 equals LW, and I know perimeter is 20. So 20 is equal to 2L plus 2W. All right, we can reduce this guy by 2, so divide everybody by 2. So 10 equals length plus width. All right, solve that from there if you can. Your first step would be to solve for a variable. Well, addition is easier than multiplication. So I'm going to solve for one of these, and it makes absolutely no difference. I'm just going to subtract the W for fun. So I'm going to get 10 minus W equals my length. So I know this is L. So since I solved this one, I have to substitute in up here. So I'm going to take out my L and plug in what it's worth. So I know 21 is equal to 10 minus W, because that's my L value, times W. Now we're just solving. Do your distribution. 21 equals 10w minus w squared. Okay, let's put everything to the other side so we can get this positive. So let's add the w squared and subtract the 10w. So I'm going to get w squared minus 10w plus 21, because we're going to do the same thing over here. That's a w squared. And minus the 10w. Okay, equals 0. Now we got a factor. Factors of 21 that give you 10. Should be w minus 7, w minus 3. So w can equal 7 or w can equal 3. So now when we plug this 7 and 3 into the equation, let's show you what happens up here. Let's do L plus W. Okay, so I've got 7 and 3. So if I go 10 equals L plus 7, well then the length is 3. And the exact opposite happens. So this is a 3 by 7 rectangle. Okay, I hope you did well. I can't remember if it's feet or what it told me on here. Oh, yep. So it's a 3 by 7 feet. And that's your length and your width. I hope you did a great job. All right, you're on to homework. Good luck. And remember to post your questions.